My coffee mug just straight up shattered when Caleb's voice broke on the phone. I've known him for maybe 8 months, and he's never sounded so wrecked. Maddie, I gotta play you something, he choked out. My gut twisted up tight. Coffee was spreading all over my kitchen floor, this gross, dark puddle, but I couldn't bring myself to move, couldn't do anything but hold the phone like it was a lifeline. What is it? I managed to whisper. Then there was a scratchy noise. And then my mom's voice. Not talking to me, talking about me. That voice she uses when she thinks I'm not listening. Well, since Madeline's getting married first, which isn't fair, I heard her say, and my dad's firm agreement came right after, each word a punch to the gut. Chelsea will wear a wedding dress and walk down the aisle before Madeline. My hand was shaking so hard I could barely hold the phone. Dark spots started popping up in my vision as memories came flooding back, clear as pictures. My 8th birthday party, and Mom insisted on that strawberry cake even though she knew it would make me break out in hives. But it's Chelsea's favorite, she'd said, as I watched my sister blow out my candles while I sat there with an empty plate. Then there was the day I brought home straight A's in junior high. Dad barely looked at my report card, then immediately turned to gush over Chelsea's C in art class. He was so proud of Chelsea's painting, grinning like an idiot and sticking it on the fridge, while my straight A report card got shoved in a drawer. I'll never forget that night in high school. There she was, my boyfriend's chair, Chelsea in a flimsy pink robe, all smiles. Then the next day he dumped me. I finally figured out which sister I really want, she'd hissed, that smile like a knife. Graduation day, my valedictorian speech, months of work, perfect practice, and empty seats where my parents should have been. Mom said later they couldn't miss Chelsea's art show, it was the same day. But Caleb was different from the start. We met at Morgan's Books. He stepped right in front of me when some lady was giving me a hard time, wouldn't leave me alone. He just said, real calm but with steel in his voice, I believe the lady said she's not interested. I never forgot that. 35, sure of himself but not cocky, protective but not overbearing. Best of all, he saw right through my family's games. We planned a small wedding, just Springfield, then Spain for our honeymoon. Nothing fancy. Nothing they could mess with. Then my parents demanded a private meeting with Caleb. To welcome him properly, they said. That old familiar fear started creeping in, but I pushed it down. This was mine and they weren't going to take it. Nope, not this time. But Caleb, bless his heart, he got it. He saw right through their game. Let me go, he'd said the day of the setup, grabbing a little digital recorder, just in case. I almost didn't listen, all those years of being trained to obey battling with this need to protect myself. But Caleb, he just seemed so sure, and it gave me this new strength. Now, I'm here at my kitchen table, my socks are wet from my coffee, and I'm staring at the thing he sent me. My fingers just itching to hit play, and I feel this awful churning in my stomach. What did they think they could take this time? The little light on the recorder just keeps blinking, like it knows the truth and is waiting. I press play. You thought I was the same, didn't you? It just pops into my head as my mom's voice fills the kitchen again. That same doormat, always letting things go, always giving Chelsea whatever she wanted. But I'm not her anymore, and they're about to find out how much things have changed. I hit play. Chelsea's voice blasts out, clear and biting. I always thought I'd be married first. It's not fair. A chair screeches. My mom's perfume, that overwhelming gardenia scent she's always worn since I was a kid, comes through the speaker. Of course it isn't fair, honey, she says. We can fix this. You'll have your own cake, professional photos, and a spotlight dance. My dad coughs. Whatever the price, we're making things good with our oldest. The Grand Plaza, they've got that dream deal. White roses, a champagne fountain, the whole shebang. And the dress? Chelsea asks, her voice all sugary. Sweetheart, it's taken care of, Mom says. That designer in Kansas City owes me one. You'll knock him dead. I could hear the sound of fabric shifting, the gentle clink of Mom's good china on the recording. I knew the exact set, the blue and gold, only for when Chelsea came to visit. Madeline will be fine once it's all going down, Chelsea says. Mom chuckles. We've always had to handle things carefully with Chelsea, Madeline gets that. We'll handle everything, Dad chimes in. His checkbook snaps open. It's gotta be done our way. Nobody will question it if it's done right, Mom says. Your Aunt Martha might bat an eye, but she'll toe the line, always does. The recorder shuts off. My chest feels like I can't breathe. Black spots are blurring my sight as I grab the picture on the fridge. It's me, 8 years old, missing a tooth, standing next to the strawberry cake while Chelsea blew out my candles. It was never about love, was it? The words barely make it out. My heart aches and all those years of memories come flooding back. Every big moment, every party. The empty seats at my graduation. The art show nobody could miss. So my phone blows up. It's Caleb, he whispers. I heard everything. It's not in your head. They're totally trying to hijack your wedding, too. My voice cracks, everything inside me feels broken. I'm like, what if? He hesitates, then says, what if we just let them think they're winning? What do you mean? I ask, totally confused. He says, mark me friend in security. He's a top-notch wedding planner, and Sarah would do anything to help you get even. He continues, what if we secretly filmed the whole thing while we play along? The idea hits me hard, like a punch to the gut. It never would have occurred to me to do something like that. Exactly, Caleb says. I hear keys jangling. We've got 3 months until the wedding, he says. They're already bragging about Chelsea's big part in it. Your mom's even offering to pay for everything with dad's money. It's the same old story, they've always done this to me, thinking I'd just roll over and let them. But this time, they're wrong. Caleb's voice is all smiles. Be at my place in 20 minutes. The spare room S becoming our command center. I look back at that old photo of me as a kid. That little girl deserved so much better. She deserved a family that actually cared about her, not one that treated her like she wasn't even there. Then I blurt out, what if this ruins everything? Caleb's voice gets serious. You mean the family that's already trying to ruin your wedding? This is going to cost them a fortune, and I'm about to teach them the most expensive lesson of their lives. This burning anger in my gut, it's turning into something else, something that feels right. I take one last look at the picture before tucking it away. That little girl in the photo. She's not alone anymore, and she's not backing down this time. That extra bedroom, perfect for laying out my plan. I learned from the best, you know. Watching Chelsea work her magic for 30 years, I soaked it all up. I saw exactly how the game was played. Time to show them how good a student I've been. Just heard from Mom about Chelsea's surprise. Sarah's text pops up as I grab my keys. Please tell me you're finally fighting back. My fingers just kinda hover over the phone. I can still see that strawberry cake, smell that frosting I never got to taste. And I can still see Chelsea's smug grin as she stole another moment that was supposed to be mine. I text back, meeting Caleb in 20 minutes. Want to help us plan a surprise of our own? Her reply is instant. On my way. We're gonna make them regret every single birthday cake they ever took from me. A real laugh bursts out of me, a laugh I haven't felt in ages, but it's coming back strong. They think they've got this all figured out. Poor, predictable Madeline, always backing down, always giving in, always putting Chelsea first. But they missed something huge. I've spent 33 years studying their moves. I know their every trick, every little manipulation, every guilt trip they'll try. And guess what? I'm not playing defense this time. I'm reaching for my coat when the front door swings open. There's Caleb, holding a whiteboard and a bunch of markers. His grin takes me right back to the day we met. That same quiet strength he showed when he stepped in between me and that jerk at the bookstore. He's holding the markers up like they're weapons. I'm picturing Chelsea in all those white dresses, Mom arranging flowers, Dad writing checks. We're totally ready. I grab my purse, the photo from my childhood tucked safely inside. Let's show them what happens when you mess with the wrong bride. The door shuts behind us, a sound like a judge slamming his gavel. In 3 months, they'll see exactly what kind of person they raised. One stolen moment, one ruined party favor, one messed up celebration at a time. They're gonna find out that some daughters don't just roll over. Some daughters fight back. So the whole week zooms by, us getting everything ready for our big surprise next week. Chelsea's latest text pops up on my phone. It's a picture of her, all smiles, in a floor-length white gown and a huge veil. My gut clenches when I read the caption, just trying on some options for your special day. I just dropped my phone on the counter and pressed my hands against the cold granite. 10 texts like that this past week, each dress fancier than the last. It's like my body's gotten used to the constant pings, expecting another hit, just like a dog waiting for the newspaper to come down. Sweetheart, Caleb says, his voice pulling me out of it. My mom called while I was showering and man, my shoulders instantly tensed up. What did she want this time? Turns out she just wanted to casually drop that she'd booked the Grand Plaza. He kept his voice super even like nothing was wrong. The Grand Plaza? It's 3 times the price of the place we'd picked. I just knew Dad had already signed the contract. He was sending over the paperwork, just needed my signature. Caleb's hand found my back, warm and comforting. They're handling all the vendors now to make things easier, they said. Yeah, easier for them to control, more like it. Every single relative who called mentioned Chelsea's special surprise for the wedding. They think they're being sneaky, but they're not fooling anyone, not us anyway. Caleb grabbed his keys, saying, "Speaking of vendors, I've got that second meeting with your folks today. The floral arrangements." My chest got tight. I said, "Are you sure about this?" His smile, it was different, sharper than I'd ever seen. Meeting my family. He just shrugged and said, "Trust me, sometimes playing it totally innocent is the best way to fight back." 10 minutes later, I watched him in the hall mirror fixing his tie, becoming the perfect son-in-law. He'd even mastered my mom's worried head tilt and my dad's pompous stance. It was seriously creepy, except I knew which side he was really on. He leaned in before he left and whispered, "Remember, Madeline's a total basket case about this wedding. A surprise might actually be better." She nailed my mom's sweet-talking voice, I got to say. Family stuff, I get it completely. My folks would have wanted the same thing for sure. That family dinner, man, it was a real test of everything we'd been working on. Chelsea ambushed me by the snacks, her voice loud enough for everyone to hear. "Picked your bridesmaid dresses yet?" she asks, fixing her hair in the serving tray. My heart was racing, but I stayed calm. "Caleb's handling that with Mom," I said. "I really hope they're not white," I added, because that smile of hers, it could cut glass and it would clash horribly with my dress. I blinked, acting all innocent and confused, a trick I've perfected over the years. "Oh, my bridesmaid dress," I said. The fork in her hand shook. For a second I saw the panic behind that perfect makeup. She didn't expect me to be so chill, given the tension. Dinner was done, so we went home. Later that night, Sarah, my best friend, was pacing my living room, totally furious. "They're trying to do what at your wedding?" she practically yelled. "Keep it down," Caleb's buddy Mark mumbled, studying the wedding venue map on our coffee table. "Yeah, that's exactly what they're planning," he confirmed. "We'll put security here and here," he said, marking spots on the blueprint. My cousin Jennifer sat on the floor, legs crossed, filming the whole planning session on her phone. "I'll make sure my family finds out the whole truth later, every single detail." Lisa, our wedding planner, hasn't stopped shaking her head since we told her what was going on. "I've seen some crazy family stuff, but this is something else entirely." She just whacks her tablet like really firmly. "But hey," she says, "I'm all about backup plans." The next day, Caleb took Chelsea to check out some, medium-priced wedding stuff, a surprise for her, apparently. I saw their Instagram stories. Chelsea's face was all scrunched up at these perfectly nice decorations, and she was all, "This is boring, don't you have anything fancier?" My parents went nuts in the family group, chat only the best for our girls. Money's no object when it's Chelsea's idea. Caleb's secret spreadsheet showed almost $28,000 already spent. All documented, and technically all from my wedding budget. That night, lying in bed, I started to question everything. Were we turning into them? Caleb rolled over, his eyes all serious in the dark. "The difference," he said, "is they want to hurt you, we're protecting you." His hand found mine. "And we're not even lying, we're just letting them show everyone who they really are." It choked me up. He just said, "That's because they taught you not to expect anyone to have your back." He squeezed my fingers. "But you're tougher than they realize. Look how you handled Chelsea last night at dinner." A bunch of ideas popped into my head. What if we had a big photo display? I flipped through old family photos, each one reminding me of the times they'd pulled this kind of stunt. I was basically thinking like a tactician now. His grin was almost visible in the dark. The next morning, Mark gave the security team their orders, super organized. No one named Chelsea gets in wearing a white dress. That's the rule. They scrutinized her pictures like they were soldiers studying enemy formations. Lisa reworked the seating, putting our friends in the best spots. If things go south, we go with Plan B. She instantly created secret hand signals for the wedding party, each one meaning something specific. The night before, my aunt called, totally out of the blue. "Are you and your sister all right? She's acting weird." I held the phone, watching Caleb look through all these childhood pictures, proof of all the past stuff, ready to be used if we needed it. "Everything's good," I told her, sounding more confident than I could have ever imagined 8 months ago. I wanted everyone to see what was gonna happen the next day. After I hung up, I picked up my favorite picture. It was me at 8 years old with a party hat on, watching Chelsea blow out my birthday candles. That little girl in the picture didn't have a clue how to protect herself. I touched her face through the glass. "Tomorrow," I whispered, "I'm finally standing up for you." And this time, I wasn't alone. I went to bed, excited for what was coming. Sunlight streamed into the bridal suite, making shadows dance across my breakfast, untouched of course. I could see through the window, security guys getting into their spots around the Springfield Grand Plaza. Mark, a buddy from Caleb's army days, was going over their radios, handing them phones. Photos are up, he muttered into his own. She'll probably come in from the east. And listen up, Chelsea Turner is not wearing white, got it? No exceptions. Sarah, my hairstylist, was braiding my hair, adding these pretty little pearls. How are you so calm? She asked, looking at me in the mirror. I patted the small recorder in my lap, just like the one Caleb used that day at my parents' place. Because, I said, for once I know exactly what's coming. The door opened and Mom walked in, all lavender chiffon and a forced smile. Sweetie, what time's Chelsea supposed to show? She asked. We need to time our entrances just right. I'm not sure what you mean, I said, keeping my voice breezy, remembering Caleb's advice. Just play it cool. Well, for the wedding party walk down, dear, she explained, so the photographer gets both of us. Sarah's hands were still in my hair. There's only one bride today, Mom, I said, smoothing my perfectly white veil. One walk down, one moment. Mom's smile vanished. Madeline, she snapped. Now. Suddenly there was a whole lot of yelling and stomping down the hall. You could hear heels clicking on the marble floor. I squeezed my eyes shut, counting down from 10. And like clockwork, seriously, Chelsea's voice echoes down the hall. I'm wearing this dress, end of story. Ma'am, like I told you, there's already a bride in there. No other white dresses allowed. Do you even know who I am? This is my sister's wedding. That's exactly the point, ma'am, Mark's deep voice booms. It's her wedding. Mom hurries to the door. I catch a glimpse of Chelsea through the crack, decked out in a full-on wedding get-up, white satin, a train that goes on forever, a photographer buzzing around her. It should be devastating, but I just feel numb, strangely calm. This is insane, Mom's voice gets shrill. It's a family tradition. You have to let her in. Aunt Martha's thick southern accent slices through the noise. What tradition? I've been to every single family wedding for 30 years and I ain't never heard of that. The whispers outside get louder. People are starting to ask questions. Why is Chelsea in a wedding dress? What's going on? A camera clicks. Dad shows up in the doorway, his tie all askew. Madeline, honey, I need a minute. Chelsea's really upset. I stand up, my own wedding dress rustling around me. Dad, it's time. Are you walking me down the aisle or not? He looks toward the commotion outside. I should probably check on Chelsea first. She's really worked up. So that's it then, I ask Amanda, my wedding planner. He just dropped a bomb on me, said I shouldn't be the one getting hitched today. Sarah's sharp intake of breath could have shattered a mirror. He said what? Cousin Jennifer's phone pops up, recording everything. The bridesmaids, all in their matching dresses, edged closer like a little wall of support. I'll walk you down the aisle, Madeline. Caleb showed up, looking super fine in his charcoal tux. He shouldn't marry her. It's supposed to be bad luck to see the bride before the ceremony, but honestly, luck's never really been my friend. Mom came back with the venue manager, her eye makeup all smudged. This is discrimination against my daughter. We paid for this wedding, ma'am, the manager replied, keeping her cool. Our contract clearly states one bride, one processional, one celebration. Through the window, I watched my sister fall apart on the sidewalk, her wedding dress spilling out around her. Her meltdown drew everyone's phones like bugs to a light. Dad started towards her, but Uncle Robert and Cousin James stopped him. Bill, Uncle Robert said, his voice loud enough to be heard. What the hell are you doing? Mom grabbed Aunt Susan's arm. We just wanted Chelsea to have her moment too. She's always been so sensitive, you know, at her sister's wedding. Aunt Susan stepped back in a wedding dress herself. Chelsea's always been delicate. Dad's words were a little slurred. Madeline understands. So you've been doing this to Madeline her whole life. Aunt Martha's voice was icy, taking her moments and giving them to Chelsea. The next hour, it's a total haze except for these crystal-clear moments. Caleb's got my arm, rock steady as we walk down the aisle. Chelsea and my folks are quietly led away, and every single second is being caught on camera. Then, at the reception, I lift my champagne. The crystal sparkles, throwing rainbows all over the white tablecloth. I speak to everyone, my voice clear in the room. To family, I say, not the one you're born with, but the one that actually loves you. Caleb gives my hand a little squeeze under the table. On his phone, though, notifications are going crazy, uploads to the cloud happening constantly. Security footage, statements, everything. What my parents and sister don't know is that today's embarrassment is just the start of what we cooked up. That champagne tastes like total victory, my phone's buzzing like crazy against my hip. Each buzz is like a pissed-off hornet and I pull it out. The screen's lit up with texts from Mom. How could you humiliate your sister like that? Chelsea's sobbing in the parking lot. After everything we've done for you. I slowly take a sip of champagne, enjoying the cold bubbles. The string quartet is playing softly in the background while everyone's chatting under the chandeliers. Aunt Martha catches my eye, raises her glass with a knowing look. Another buzz. This time it's Dad. Do you even know how much this wedding cost? You're acting like a spoiled brat. My phone's blowing up, just flooded with nasty messages, trying to guilt trip me and make me feel awful. They're all making fun of me because of you. Chelsea's text pops up with a bunch of crying emojis. Then comes a threat about my inheritance if I don't fix this mess, like, right now. Yeah, you were always so selfish, Madeline. Only ever cared about yourself. As I'm staring at all these messages, Caleb comes up next to me and puts his hand on my lower back. It's warm and comforting. He doesn't say anything, just starts taking phones from Sarah, Jennifer, and our other friends who have been recording this whole crazy scene. He's so calm and sure of himself. It helps me feel steady, like he always has, ever since we met at that bookstore. Ready? He murmurs. I grab my phone one more time, my fingers hovering over the keys. The words just come to me clear as day. What happens when you try to steal something that was never meant for you? You lose it all. Deal with what you've done. I hit send and block them all 1, 2, 3. Ready? He asks again, and I nod. The wedding photographer's snapping pictures of us. My smile feels different now, not that fake smile I always use, but a real one, strong and free. After the photos, Caleb takes our family and closest friends aside, into a quiet corner of the reception hall. We knew exactly what they were going to pull, he says, taking out his phone. Listen to this. And just like that, everything we planned, all our work, comes to a head. The recording started playing, Mother's voice echoing through the room, coming from all the speakers. It was like, of course Chelsea should wear white. Then came Chelsea's voice, real snotty, saying, Madeline won't care about sharing her day, because she never did. Chelsea continued, I deserve the spotlight more than Madeline. I'm the oldest, it should have been my wedding first anyway. Aunt Martha gasped and clapped her hand over her mouth. Uncle Robert's face turned all red and stormy, but it was Grandma's reaction that wrecked me. She was trembling when she said, I've never been so embarrassed by my daughter and granddaughter. I watched them do this for years. Madeline, I'm so sorry. And she went on to say, it stops now. In the meantime, Caleb started a new family group chat, and guess who wasn't in it? My parents and Chelsea. Then bam, my phone was blowing up with texts, recordings, pictures of my parents signing checks for all the fancy wedding stuff they'd paid for, and were then trying to use against me. Next came memories from other relatives, all the times Chelsea had pulled this garbage. Jennifer texted, remember when Chelsea showed up to Maddie's graduation in a white dress and announced her engagement during the toast? Uncle Robert chimed in, they did the same thing when she was valedictorian, scheduled Chelsea's art show for the same afternoon. Aunt Martha's message hit me hard. We all saw it, but we didn't do anything. We failed you, Madeline, I'm so sorry. The phone started ringing, and of course it was Mom. Caleb put it on speaker, his voice smooth as ever. Seriously, why would we ever be okay with someone else in a wedding dress at our wedding? Mom's words hit us like a punch, because Chelsea deserved it more. The air just hung there, thick with the silence after her words. I moved closer to Caleb, finding comfort in his arm around me. Thanks for finally being real, I whispered. Goodbye, Mom. After that, everything just went crazy. Dad texted the whole family, trying to fix things, but the answers were all the same. Not a single person agreed with them. Then Chelsea made her last attempt, texting everyone. She said Caleb only married me because I rejected him. Before I could even finish reading it, Caleb showed me his phone. He'd already taken a screenshot. This one's getting framed, he said with a little smile, showing me what we'd survived. After that, the reception was just dancing, celebrating, and raising glasses. For the first time ever, I felt like I was part of a real family. Not that fake love I had to work for growing up, but true, dependable love. 3 days later, after we got home from the party and got ready for our honeymoon, I switched off my phone. Spain was waiting for us, a fresh start, so far away from the train wreck that used to be my family's reputation. Sarah already texted Chelsea's closest friends are bailing now that the gossip's spreading. And you know what just hit me? I said to Caleb as he helped me into the car. He asked, what? I told him. Sometimes the best payback isn't getting even, it's just refusing to let them mess with you anymore. He kissed my forehead and we drove off, starting our new life, leaving the old mess behind. It felt like a lifetime ago. That morning I smashed my coffee cup. Now we were in Spain, a whole month, just him and me, total freedom. After the honeymoon phase ended, we came back. First thing, turning our phones back on. Caleb slid a perfect cafe con leche across the kitchen table, and I just held it, loving the warmth. A whole month of sweet, quiet peace, and today we finally flipped those phones on. My phone blew up, but not with the usual guilt trips and mind games. It was message after message of love from family: Aunt Martha with garden pics, cousin Jennifer's funny kid stories, Uncle Robert just saying he's proud. I looked up, and Caleb was smiling at me, that sweet smile I love so much. He said, "Pretty different from our usual crazy family breakfasts, huh?" That knot I always felt between my shoulder blades, gone. Just gone. Now I hold his gaze, no problem, even when my phone's buzzing. Definitely a change, I admit, taking a coffee swig. A letter from my grandma grabs my attention, and I open it with calm hands. The words start to get blurry, but not because I'm scared. Nah, it's a different kind of cry. "She's giving me the lake house," I quietly say. "That's the place I always felt safe when I was little." I read her last lines out loud, like I need to hear them the right way. "You deserved better, sweet girl." My phone goes off again. Chelsea's getting engaged, all fancy pics and a super long caption about finally finding her soulmate after waiting for ages. A month after I got married. If it wasn't so on the nose, I might have laughed. "Check this out," Caleb says, showing me his screen. "My mom's trying to get back in touch again, now that the rest of the family is done with her." 20 missed calls from my dad's work phone. Caleb makes a new folder on his phone and calls it Toxic Family, starts putting screenshots in it. "Gotta document everything for the restraining order," he says, real matter-of-factly. "Every message makes our case stronger." He sends the newest ones to the family group chat. "Still can't respect boundaries," he writes. The messages are all supportive. We finished our coffee and started getting our stuff out of the suitcases. The next few days were pretty normal. Work stuff, hanging out with friends. And then, eventually, things actually got better. 2 weeks after that, at a get-together with our friends, our favorite people, the ones who always have our backs, raised their glasses in our backyard to the family we chose. Sarah gave a toast, and everyone repeated the words. Later that night, Jennifer took me aside and told me she was finally standing up to her parents. They always played favorites. "You showed me it could be done," she said. "The support group I go to meets every Thursday evening in this cozy, sunny room at the community center. Just yesterday, I told my whole story for the first time." Afterwards, 3 different people told me that hearing about my boundaries gave them the strength to set some of their own. "We should do something awesome for our freedom anniversary," I said, "instead of focusing on what we lost." Caleb's eyes crinkled up, already thinking of what to do. "Who are you?" he asked. "And what have you done with my wife, the one who used to cringe at the word celebration?" I laughed, and it felt so easy and real. Just last week, I bumped into my mom at the grocery store. Instead of hiding or pretending I didn't see her, I looked her right in the eyes when she came over. "Maddie, please," she started, but I stopped her with a simple, "I'm not available for that relationship anymore," and just walked away. No racing heart. No feeling guilty. No looking back. Caleb reached into his jacket and pulled out a small box, sliding it across the table to me. "Speaking of celebrations, happy 1-year anniversary of the day you said yes to marrying me." A delicate gold key on a thin chain rested inside. My chest ached as I picked it up. "You always held the key to your own happiness," he murmured. "I just helped you find the bravery to turn it." I fastened the necklace, the weight a comforting presence against my skin. "You did way more than that," I whispered back. "You showed me what true love really is." Our friends spotted us then, raising their glasses, wishing us love and happiness when we went back home. Back in our hallway, 2 frames hang together. One holds our wedding picture, all our friends and family grinning at us, the ones who decided to be there for us. The other frame, Chelsea's nasty text, printed out all fancy like, "You'll regret picking him over your real family." Every single morning, Caleb and I stop in front of them, remembering everything we left behind and everything we've built together since. And then we turn away, ready for the day, ready for what's ahead. Brick by brick, we're building our own life, setting our own rules. The best wedding gift wasn't anything anyone bought off a registry. It was the freedom we finally fought for and won.